The same old stuff with y'all. It's the same old stuff.
We're here to beat the Disney ESPN channel. Those are the people we have to surpass. And we're going to help you one day at a time get this done.
Get her done.
Let's kick their ass. I'm not Stephen A. Smith. I'm not some Disney character. What is wrong with this individual? I've been doing this 27 years. That's a fact. Disney ESPN ain't gonna help you because none of them know the right side. Trust me, they know nothing.
I don't know anything about the business. I told you.
If they had good handicappers, I wouldn't have to do this show. We're crying out loud. Here we go, baby. We're gonna make it rain.
Show me the money.
We'll be dancing around. We have the freedom to express ourselves. This is freedom right here. They don't have that on Disney.
Nope.
Hell no.
And that's why one day we're going to surpass Disney. This is America here, baby.
I'm a goddamn American icon.
Capitalism at its finest. I'm here to win. Good afternoon, gurus. Welcome, Sportsguru.vegas live, coming to you from Las Vegas, greatest city in the world. And we have the Super Bowl, obviously, on Sunday here. There's a lot. Actually, the skies finally opened up today, and we have some sunshine. So it looks like they probably start exploring what's out there, and that'll be good. It's been for about 5 days, it's been raining. So that's definitely unique for, that's definitely better. That's much better. I don't think they came and played this game in Vegas because of it'd be raining for a week, right? But that's what happened. It's unpredictable now. There's some climate change people out there and whatever. I think you wake up, and if you're breathing, I think you're reasonable and you're normal. So certainly no droughts going on. We had a drought before all this, so I don't see that happening anymore. But welcome to the show, gurus, especially you new viewers on TikTok, Twitter. Welcome to you as well. And so I want to get in straight to the games. Yesterday, we've played a couple of these situations where we've had our better bet that hasn't got the strategy has worked, but it had to win, right? One of the tickets would have won twice. So we're going to balance this out a little more and spread it out a little more, gurus, for you guys. And I want to start out by doing that. So first I want to show you, this is the first round robin. I want to get straight into this because we actually have 3 round robins today. And again, gurus, I'm your guide. This is a couple, and there's one NBA I put on the same ticket, but you can mix these up, bet them straight, because if you bet them straight, that's been an advantage so far for the whole time I've been on the show. I do the round robin because it's a good way to get that accelerator up. But for monetary purposes, you can bet them straight. You'll have better success. And I project that probably will happen. You can back it up with a round robin in addition. So if you like 3 of these games a lot, put a smaller round robin. But again, the round robin is a fun way to bet. It's you don't have to win all 3. You can win 2 and 1. All these games are basically minus 110. You may have to, if you buy a tie on some of these, which I recommend, you may have to lay 20 cents total. And again, you're still going to make money if you go 2 and 1. And so the straight bet is obviously in play here as well. I put round robins. It's a fun way to invest. Parlays are better than round robins. So that's the main reason I did that. And we're starting out. We have Citadel on the road. They're getting 11. SIU's getting 10. Notice these teams are double digits. They each have different matchup advantages. That's what Mark and I look for. We're doing the games. Matchup advantages for this year. There are also these teams can trend to years before, and that we try to look for that. We kind of mix everything up. It's a sophisticated way of looking at the games, but again, you have to nowadays. There's a lot of competition out there with AI and companies. There's algorithms and the numbers move a lot faster than they used to as far as money's concerned. Before you could walk to casinos, I still know someone that does that, and you can still make money at that. Find an advantage with numbers that haven't moved as much yet. So that's one way of doing it. The other, so we have 3-round robin. San Diego at home. We had them against San Francisco a few days ago. Lavin's the head coach there. They're getting points at home. And these teams can all compete. Most of these teams have lost this year to their opponent. So we look for them to have more motivation to cover. Winnings, not as it's okay to bet a small round robin. And if you're not betting the round robin, you can bet it straight and put some money line action. I would say in these positions, like maybe a little more on San Diego because they're at home, maybe 20% on them, 10% on the other two. That's reasonable. You want to have some money line action, gurus, on that's why I put money line optional on these, because it does accelerate. If you are betting the round robin, it'll accelerate that for you. And I recommend either the straight or the round robin because I want you to do the best you can financially. So, I talked with Mark earlier today, and it's not that we're changing the strategy. It's just I'm recommending to you as a guide what will be better for you here on out. You can bet them straight. Again, back them up with a round robin. That is my suggestion on all these games. And I'll try to, as the board gets heavier, which will be tomorrow and Saturday, depending on how many games we have, I'll help you through that process as well. Because we're probably going to be a little more aggressive now with these games. There's going to be more games, as I've discussed with you before. As the season goes, we have more history. Therefore, we're going to have more statistics and situations because these teams have played each other. And so we can bounce off that with the spread and everything else. So you'll see us get more aggressive with these games. And again, I put the round robin just to kind of block these games together. You don't have to do that, but that's what I'm doing just to help you out here. Make it easy to follow and understand. And again, you can bet them straight. So we have 6 games in college basketball today, and then we'll have about 3 in the NBA. So let's go to the next one. We have UNC Asheville's at home today. They're getting 2.5. You want to buy off that 2 if you can. And they're a home dog, home plus we call it, small dog. They're playing High Point. High Point's the best team in their conference. So, this is a new coach for Asheville. So we're hoping he can cover that 2.5. And then we have UCLA. They're on the road. They're at Stanford, and Stanford beat this team earlier in the year. And so UCLA is coming on the road. They have a tradition of beating this team. So we think with that spread, that will be reasonable. This will be a good matchup, be a good game to watch. They have a good team, Stanford. They have a couple 7-footers on their team, and they're developed. Stojakovic's son's on that team. He played on the Sacramento in the late 90s, I believe, early 2000s. Good shooter. So his son's a freshman, I think, on that team. And they're doing well. They covered against Arizona on Sunday, and then they won outright, I think. Well, they won at ASU on Friday. I think it was Friday. So they're playing well, Stanford. So UCLA, they're going to have to play well in this game. They want to beat UCLA. They've been getting beat by them. So UCLA is going to have to show up. They've been playing better in conference lately, just like Stanford. So it should be an interesting game. Definitely a fun game to watch. And, hopefully we'll cover those points. And then we're going to take Cal in the money line. Cal's playing at home against USC. And Cal has a new coach, Mike Madsen. He used to be on the Lakers. He was he was a backup player when they had their championship run with Kobe and Shaq. He was a guy they throw in just to beat people, get fouls, rebound a little bit. No talent really at all, but he made it to the NBA. And he is a good coach. So he's I I think he was at Grand Canyon before this, where he turned that program around. And now he got a good position at Cal. He's back home. He grew up in the Bay Area, San Ramon, I think he's from. So he's probably happy. And he's turning this program around. You know, Cal was a doormat last year, and now they're not going to go to the tournament this year. They're not. But they're playing a decent season for him in his first year. USC's struggling a lot right now. I think they're having problems with their personnel. I've seen James's son play. He's not that good, personally. I don't think he's even playing the next level. That's just what I see. So, but James is determined to have him there before he retires, right? And it tells you that nepotism isn't always right. If they were actors, if James was an actor and his kid was an actor, we'd probably wouldn't see as big a difference. But you know, LeBron's one of the top 5 players of all time. I have him. It's just simply his longevity and how many years he's been in the league. And he's an exceptional player. I mean, to be this productive at this stage of his life, it tells me a lot. He's taking good care of himself, you know. And that's not so you have to work for that. That's not something that's just handed to you. You've got to work for that. And he has. But his son's not that good. It's just as simple as that. I've seen him. He's not. And let's hope he doesn't play well tonight. But Cal's they've been playing good at home, so they can handle their business. It's a reasonable money line. I think it's $1.40 or something, and $1.30 something. So it's reasonable. I would eliminate the points. Could be a close game, Gurus. Both teams aren't going to the tournament. They both know that, by the way. It's over. And so they're playing just to build their squad. I think USC had a lot more expectations this year, and they're certainly not meeting them. They're in last place. So that's pretty bad for them. And that's a place they've never really been. A little bit about the Super Bowl. You know, these guys landed on Sunday, and so today it's basically, like I said, the skies are opening up, and they have some events going on on some of the places on the strip. I may get out there today and have a little, do a little exploring. I haven't been out there. Like I said, the weather's been very dismal, and that's very unusual that lasts this long. But it's very exciting. This is a game coming up. You know, it's the biggest event in sports, and we have it in my backyard, and I'm really excited about that. I've been talking to you guys about it for a long time. I'm still believe the Chiefs are going to win the game. As far as I'm concerned, you know, there's some coaches that have never won a Super Bowl, and the Niners coach might be one of them, Shanahan. So, you know, sometimes you just don't get it. You just don't. They had a chance. If you Gurus remember, they were playing the Chiefs a couple years ago, and they had a 10-point lead, the Niners in that game. And I think it was in the third quarter. And they came back and beat them, the Chiefs. And they're better. I was listening to some people yesterday about it. You know, their defense is much more experienced this year than it's been in the past. And Spagnoli is an excellent defensive coordinator. And they have the pieces on defense. Their offense, their receivers, right, outside of Kelsey, who's the best tight end in the league right now, they're not the top receiver. They don't have as good of receivers as a whole than the 49ers. That's just the facts. And, you know, but they have a very good running back, right? They don't have a great running back, you know, like the young man for San Francisco, but McAfee. But they do McCaffrey. Forgive me, I was watching McAfee. He's in Vegas. They have a show out of Mandalay Bay they're shooting right now. So they got a lot of guests out here. You know, they're doing well. I congratulate them on the show. They can't help you pick games, but that's not their job. You know, they're here to entertain you. And they have some good interviews. They have good people on. They've been around, and so they're going to do well. So, you know, Gurus, when I started the show, I did it for one reason. And the only advantage I have 2 advantages. But my first advantage is I've been doing this a long time. And the second advantage I have is I live near the strip, not too far. So I have access to meeting people. And I really like to do that. It's been hard lately. But that's one of the reasons I did this. So my advantage has to be helping you win. And, Mark and I are working on this every day. So as far as the games are concerned, I try to release these games in a manageable way to you, so easy to follow. And I'm going to continue that, but we're going to have to release more volume of games as we go here, so we can catch our percentages better. That's just the way it is. And that means more games, and that's okay, because as long as we're seeing progress and we're competing and winning, I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with that. I know I'm not, and I don't think you will either. So my job is to help you compete and win. These shows are for entertainment. Stephen A. and all these people, they're here to entertain you. They inform you on personnel and some injuries, and that's fine. But they're not going to help you win. I've taken that upon myself to do that. There's a lot of competition. I started this show in 2019 in a different format. It was a YouTube show, YouTube channel. And I stopped it because of the pandemic. They had stopped all sports for about, I think it was 4 months. I think it went from late March into May. So it was about at least about 3 months they stopped sports. And then they played a bubble in the NBA. They went straight to the playoffs, basically. And they played half a season in major leagues. They played the World Series in a Texas Ranger Stadium, actually, because it's the only one that would allow the virus, if you want to, the way it was. So I decided I wasn't comfortable doing a show at that time in regards to sports, because I didn't like what was going on with it. There was a lot of a lot of the players were complaining about, white privilege and all this stuff. And the way I felt, I've been supporting these players since I was a child. I didn't care what color you were, that my heroes were sports heroes, period. And I felt betrayed, and I felt insulted. And so I really didn't want to talk about them. I didn't really, I bet, but I cut my bets down. I really wasn't enthusiastic. And it would happen is, as a result, that because of the virus, I was sick, very sick, and I couldn't do a show for a couple of years. This year was the first year I felt like doing a show, and I got sick again during this show. And you guys who've been following me know that. You saw me struggling up here, but I feel obligated, and it's privileged, if you want to call it, not because of my color, but because of the work I've done and how long I've been out here and how long I've focused on sports betting. I figured I'm a source that you're going to need, because there really isn't any good sources out there that I've seen, especially on major networks. There's probably some good podcasters out there, and you should follow them, especially if they're winning. That's a good sign. And I've got to do my part, gurus. I got to do my part. So, I'm here to do that. Mark and I are doing what we can to get everything out to you in a way that you can absorb it and you can be successful with it. It's a language that him and I have developed over the years, as decades, if you will. And so we're sharing it with you to try to help you win. And we got to get better with that. And that's hopefully starts today, then the way we're doing this. I have one. Right. That's a good. So Mark's said this: use round robins to maximize strong plays. Now, the only problem with that, Mark, is we didn't hit our strong play yesterday, and we didn't hit it on Friday. So, that's one of the reasons why we're doing things the way we are. And what does that mean, Gurus? We call it king penning. So when you match up your best bet to other bets, the idea is to strengthen both tickets. And if you look at both of those days, we were 2-1 on one, and we lost our 1 week that we had king pen on both tickets. That means it didn't help us; it hurt us. So, in my opinion, these games are a lot closer. Now, there are going to be circumstances where we can bet off certain positions, and they will have more value. And we'll share those with you when they come up. For right now, these games are basically all the same for us. That's why I put them in a format that's basically a round robin. You have to bet the same amount of money on a round robin, so you don't bet more on one game than the other. It helps you with money management, but you have to be good enough to win, to go 2-1 most of the time, 3-0 sometimes, and you want to avoid the 0-3s aren't bad because that's true value. You don't want to go 0-3, but it's on a round robin. It's better to go 0-3 than 1-2. So what I talked to Mark about was, I want to promote straight betting with you because that's okay, right? We're here to make money. We're here to have fun, but we're also here to give ourselves the best chance of winning. That's fair to me to tell you that. I see what's going on, and so I have to tell you what's going on, and we have to make the right adjustments. And that's what having experience is all about. So that's why Mark said that. And again, I agree with Mark. The problem is, though, when you're not hitting your strong bets, that'll hurt you. So, but he's right about overall, you want to maximize it with a round robin. And the reason why, Gurus, is because if you go 2-1, you get your money, you make a little bit depending. And that's why we recommend it, because if you hit it, you accelerate your wins. So yes, we want to accelerate our wins anytime we can. And so the reason I'm doing this is you can bet the round robin, you can bet straight. I'm encouraging you to bet both, and that'll give you the maximum. So you want to bet your straight bet for the most, and you bet less on the round robin. That's to make money. But you can keep doing the round robin. You do what you want to do. These plays are designed to be your guide, so you can pull the ones you like. It is a language, so you should bet them all because that's how you get your statistics. And I have to make it an advantage for you to want to bet them all, and that's our job, Gurus. So let's go into the NBA. So I've been more conservative with these sports, but that's not going to help the situation here. So we have to take the knowledge we have and the experience, and we have to use it. There's going to be more games, but that's okay. So we're going to go into the NBA here. We have the Wizards. They're at home. Kuzma's back. They've lost this team twice in Cleveland. They have them at home. They're giving us a good number. We're going to take Washington. The NBA's been solid this year. It has. It's been very reasonable. I've been more conservative lately because I'm trying too hard to be too good, and that's not cutting it. So we're going to have to expand this a little bit, and that's okay, Gurus. The next game is Atlanta. They've been winning lately, right? They see that the playoffs are coming close. They want to secure that in-play game, maybe even get like a 7 seed or a 6. They don't even have to play in it, but it looks like they're heading. But they want to maintain the position they're in, Gurus. So Atlanta's getting a lot of points and they're winning lately, right? So this coach, whatever they're doing, is starting to have more success. And then we have Detroit. It is a team. They're at Sacramento. Again, Detroit's been covering a little bit lately. We were on them when they had their first win after 26 losses. And speaking of that, Gurus, I'm wearing my Knights shirt today because the Knights broke Edmonton's 16-game winning streak. And my brother had mentioned that to me because he's more into hockey. He mentioned that to me before the game. And I said, well, I'm going to bet that because they're probably due to lose. And, the Knights are world champs from last year. So, they were a puck line dog. So they won. We'll try and give you those games as well, Gurus, in hockey. But for now, we're sticking with what we know, which is the college basketball and the NBA. That's what we feel comfortable with. So in today's NBA, we have the Wizards. That's a big number at home. They have enough players to cover that. Cleveland has some guys back, but that's a lot of points on the road. And then they did lose twice to Cleveland in Cleveland. Atlanta, again, at Boston, right? They lost to the Lakers the other day, last week. And the Lakers had 2 players out. So they can compete and cover this number. I didn't put money line optional because I don't believe that's necessary in these games. I don't see two of them winning. I don't. But it's possible, right? It is possible. I think if you have to break it down, the teams, probably Atlanta and Washington, would have the best chance of winning these games. So if you're betting straight, you want to throw like 10 to 15% on Atlanta and Washington, no more than that, of your total bet. So if you're betting 100, you want to put like 80, call it 90, and then 10 on the money line on either of those. And Detroit, I don't think can win this. Sure, they can win. It's unlikely they will. Sacramento's a very good Gurus, home team. And I think they'll struggle there. But we want to be that 14 is a pretty big number in the NBA. And they've been covering some spreads, Detroit. They've been going back and forth. We've been doing a good job of editing the Pistons. So I just to remind you, Gurus, we are. I'll go back to this. We're being a little more aggressive now with these games. That might mean I just release a games to you without the round robin. Today we had 6 in the college basketball, and we had 3 in the NBA, so it made it easier. And yesterday would have been the same way. I released 2 round robins. I probably could have released 4. And that's okay, because if we're winning on those extra 2, that's why we need to do it. So look for me to have more volume now, Gurus. That's something Mark and I talked about today after the Wyoming loss. We feel we have to go there now and give you guys the best chance at this point. And we will. We have plenty of time, Gurus, to make some good money in college basketball. It just means some days I'm going to have more games. And if when that day comes, if there's 20 plus games to bet, perhaps we'll just put them out there and you can do what you want with them. That's something I'm talking to Mark about. I've tried to make it more, if you will, easy to follow, easy to bet, but that's not good enough. If it's not making money, you have to do something more, and that's what we're going to do. We started that today. So we started with Citadel getting 11. They can win. They beat this team last year in their village. SIU, that's a decent number in college basketball. Missouri Valley Conference, they play hard against one another. And San Diego's been good to us preseason. We won with them last game at San Francisco. That's a big number at home. They can cover that. They beat Arizona State this year at home. Money line's optional. So again, if you're doing the round robin, right, you want your leg is the same as on a straight bet, because you want to bet these all the same if you're betting them just with my suggestion. If you like one more than the other, that's up to you. But I'm betting all these games the same. They have the same value to me, Gurus. So the money line's optional, and I will probably put a small percentage of my money on that as well. You have to. They could all, if you go 2-1, you'll make decent money. But you want your primary to bet to be the points, and that's why I put money line optional there for you. And then we're going to go back into more college. We have Asheville's a home plus. Again, these positions, Gurus, we're sharing with you are positions that Mark and I know have an advantage, have some reason that you should bet these games. And that's how that's how we're going with this now. These are all games we know historically. We've been working together over 20 years, Mark and I. We know historically will give you some value. UCLA traditionally can beat this team. Stanford's a good team. Sometimes, Gurus, these teams learn as this, and you've seen this if you've been betting it. If you're new to college, watch how these games go. There's some teams that play weak in preseason, and then when conference games come, they step it up. And we've seen this over and over again. And we have to handicap according to that, and we will, Gurus. I was just trying to be very too fine with this, and that's not good enough. That's not getting the job done. But these are positions that are favorable. They've been supported by wins this year, so we bet them all. We'll have an advantage, Gurus. I put them in a round robin format for you because there's only 9 games there, which is a lot, actually. But it's nothing compared to Thursday and Saturday. We had So just to let you know, Mark and I on Saturday, we had 24 college basketball games we bet. And using this format, Gurus, you're going to get every one of them because you have to. I mean, unless we see maybe 6 that stand out, I don't think that'll happen, Gurus. I don't. A lot of these games, you have to do a lot of back and forthing on, okay, that has this, but it doesn't have this. We have this spread, but we don't have this. So you're constantly evaluating what is the best position overall. And then you release it, and then it's in God's hands. But our job is to share our experience with you. We've had success helping people make money in this for decades. And we have to get that, we have to deliver that to you. No, any way we have to is what we're going to get it done for you guys. And that's next. All these games are reasonable. They're all reasonable. Cal, they've been playing good at home. They're hosting SC. Matson's first year. They may not win, but we have 8 other college games. So we're balancing the whole thing out. And then we're going to go into the NBA, something we've been winning with. And if anything, it's been on me, Gurus. And remember, I have had to overcome some things too. That's made it difficult on me, but I'm feeling better now to help you guys. And I wouldn't have started the show. I wouldn't even come on if I don't think I could help you. I wouldn't. That wouldn't be fair. But this is a good thing we're doing. We have the experience to help you. They don't. It's very obvious. You can watch interview after interview after interview, and there's nothing wrong with that. These players reveal what they feel like, whatever they want to talk about. And they were talking about that today on the McAfee. I was listening. He was interviewing Shannon Sharp, who's on Stephen A's show, right? And he was sharing some things. He lives out in Hollywood and stuff. And again, there is interest there. He gave his opinion on the best tight end, which is Kelsey Fields. I agree with him. I don't like his politics or his girlfriend, but I do, because she's woke, and I don't like woke people because they're too double standard, hypocritical. I don't like that. But in this case, he's the best tight end, period. There's no question about it. And he's one of the greatest of all time. I can separate the two. I don't like his politics. I think the vaccine's bad for us, but he supports it. He does commercials. That's his decision. I don't like it, but I'm here to bet the games. So if I decide to bet the Chiefs, it certainly won't be because he did a Pfizer commercial, right? I have to draw the line somewhere, Gurus. But I do like the Chiefs this weekend on Sunday. But I care about today, Gurus, right? These shows are about interviews and their prediction for Sunday. You hear it every day. I'm about the games for today, and that's what the fundamental foundation of this show is about. Period. I told you from the beginning, that's never changed. And I have to be accountable to you. I haven't gotten the job done well enough. That's a fact. I got to step up my game here. And that's what Mark and I are going to do for you guys. Okay. So just hang in there with the guru. I'm going to make you grateful you're with me. You're going to be the ones that started with me because I plan on this show being very successful. I have a lot of competition. And the only way I can beat that competition is if I'm better than everyone else. And I know that in 25 years, I better be there. I better be there and I better prove it. So let's get that done today. So here's the NBA. These are good value numbers. We have 2 road games and a home, and we're all double digits. And these teams can cover these numbers. I'm not. That's what we're hoping for. At the end of the game, we get some backdoor opportunities. I don't think any of them will win. I just don't. But I think they can compete enough to cover the numbers. And that's all we give a shit about, Gurus. So again, I want to thank the new followers on TikTok and Twitter X for following me and for hanging around in there. And Guru's got to get this done. We got to see this thing and get it home and take it home. I'm accountable. I have to. That's what this show's about. I hold players and coaches to accountability. I have a couple videos about that. And so I have to give you back. I have to give that back to you, gurus. And one good thing about business is it's about capitalism. And so if you don't get better, the other people will beat you. And I know I'm fully aware of that, gurus. It is my first, I haven't done this show in 4 years. So there was a lot for me to learn. And then unfortunately I got sick again. But I'm here. I know how to run the show. I know how to handicap the games. Now I just have to deliver to them any way it takes for you to be successful. And we'll manage it the best way we can for you. And we started today doing that. So bet them straight, gurus. There's three. I gave you 3 round robins today. Bet them straight if you want. Back them up with a round robin. I will be releasing these on Twitter, X, and TikTok in the round robin form. You've watched the show. If you watch it live, set your indicator so we can talk about what's going on. This is about strategy. I like to share. This show helps me communicate with you. The TikTok, Twitter, I just released pics. That's it. Bob, you've seen them. You've already been on there. So, but this show is an in-depth look at how some people, we're talking about 25 plus years of experience here. So I have to make these decisions and we have to get it done for you guys. So I think what we have here is I'll go over one quick time if you're new, if you came in late, you have time to get these bets in. These are the early games, East Coast 4 o'clocks, except for San Diego. That's a later game. But SIU, Citadel are early. San Diego's late. So that's our first round robin. All college. And we need to have a good day today. We need to compete. And if we win today, great. We need to compete today. That's it. We didn't compete yesterday. That's unacceptable. Okay. We didn't have a show the day before. And we competed Sunday, and Saturday wasn't as good as it needs to be. 6-6 isn't good enough in college. It's not acceptable. When we could have went about 5 games over, we released more games, but we had a better profit. So I'd rather give you more games that you win than less games that aren't good enough to win. That's not acceptable for us gurus. It's just not. So we got to get it done for you. And then the next one here is we just showed this. These are home teams, except UCLA. They're on the road, but they're getting 4. Asheville's a small home plus. And, small conferences, we're mixing them, big conference, small. It hasn't mattered, gurus, as far as win-loss percentage. It makes no difference. And I know because I've looked, this notebook is full, and I can show you everything we're writing out. And you're going to get more games now. That's what we're going to do to balance this out. Even today, gurus, when I'm looking at these games, there's not one that stands out over the other. Anyway, there isn't. So that's how I'm delivering them to you. And then the last one's in the NBA. There you go. Wizards, Atlanta, and Pistons. Read good numbers. We'll see if they can cover them. And again, gurus, on the round robin, and even in straight betting, we're always looking to go 2-1. The round robin gives us that accelerator. We go, that makes it fun. So what I'm saying is bet them straight, back it up with a round robin. That's your best chance of winning at this point. And Guru's going to follow you in that direction. So, but I do think we have to continue to bet the round robin. It adds a level of excitement. If it gets too busy and there's a lot of games, you may just want to bet them all straight. And I'll tell you why, Gurus, real quick before we end the show. So let's say I have 30 games I want to give you on a Saturday, because that's quite possible now. Very possible. And let's make it easier. That's 10 round robins. Okay. So if we bet 10 round robins and we go 500, we could lose a money, meaning, if we don't win any and we happen to lose some, the way the numbers go, you could have a bad day instead of just losing juice. That's a big difference. 15 units is 1 point of minus 110, right? Is a unit and a half that you lost just breaking even. And you could easily say 2 units, because we bet some money lines and we buy some points. So we're 2 units behind. If you bet a round robin, you could lose more. We saw that on Saturday, and we even hit a round robin on Saturday. We still lost a round robin, a full round robin. So that's more percentage losses for going 500. So we want to avoid that. And that's why we want to put most of our money on the straight at this point and back it up with the round robin, especially if I say we have 3 situations here that are pretty strong. Let's bundle those together and we have a better chance of hitting a bigger ticket. And when that comes across my table here and I see it, I will inform you of that, gurus. That's my job. So, but for now, I want to, let you know we're going to have probably more volume of games. We started it today. Bet them straight, back them up with a round robin. Do what you want with them. But I'm giving you a forecast of what we need to do now. It's not good enough what we've been doing. It's not getting the job done. So we got to make it happen for you. That falls on Guru. I take accountability for that. It's like Trump said, right? They said, what did Trump say? Blame me? You're damn right. Blame me for this border bill not being signed. He said, yeah, you can blame me. Sure. Because you didn't fix it when you became president. So I'll fix it when I become it. How's that? And I agree with him. I really do. I think that's not a bill that's reasonable. I don't think it is for everybody. It's a bill they threw in that just before an election to get hopefully reelected. Look how weak that is. That's not what my show's about. And be accountable. Now, if Sleepy could say, look, I made a mistake. I let the border go to hell. So we're doing everything we can now. No, he's not. He didn't say that. Didn't say that. He blamed Trump. So there you go. But that's politics. This is about sports betting, gurus. And it's all about math. You're either winning or you're not. And we got to turn this around and make it happen. And I'm accountable for that. So I hope these plays we send you today, I will put them on TikTok and Twitter and the round robin format, gurus, for today. And we'll take it a day at a time. It's just, as long as we're winning, you don't give a shit what I put up here. And I don't give a shit what I put up here. As long as it's helping us win, it makes no difference. And you would agree with me on that. I know you will. And that's why we're doing what we have to do. So we obviously will be doing a show tomorrow. It's a very busy day tomorrow, gurus. There's a lot of games tomorrow. It's a big day. We could have, today I released 9 games. We could have double that tomorrow. And that's okay. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. I'll be doing the show, though. So please come back tomorrow at noon. And I want to thank you guys. It's our first year, even though we have a lot of experience, Mark. It's our first year doing this. And we're, it's not just on us. We're sharing our information with you guys. That means I have to do everything I can to make it easy for you to follow this information and yet sustain a profit and compete. And that's what we're starting to enter into, because we're going to have a lot of games, gurus. There's going to be a lot of games coming up. And that's okay. We look forward to that. That's how we make money. So I would like for you to come back tomorrow, gurus. Come back and share this show. We're entering a very heavy time of the year. I'm confident we're going to out compete and beat the competition. I have to. If I don't, I can't be successful. There's a lot of podcasts out there. There are a lot of handsomer, better looking people than me, right? They got attractive women. You could look at them. You don't have to look at me. So my job is to help you win, gurus. Okay, that's what I'm here for. And so please come back tomorrow. Noon to 1, we'll be live again from Las Vegas, Nevada. Greatest city in the world. We have the Super Bowl here. I'm looking forward to getting out there, taking some pictures and photos, maybe getting some pics with celebs and players. That's always in the mix. So, all right, gurus, you guys have a winning day today. These games will be on TikTok, Twitter. You have them on the show to go back to and look at. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at noon. Thank you. I love you. God bless you.